So over the course of 2 days, we had fantastic talks from both campus and off-campus speakers. And for our campus speakers, we had 12 oral sessions, 12 oral talks, and 2 poster sessions that included a total of 76 posters. Now, I got personal messages from all the judges who are postdocs and faculty on this campus that they were very impressed with all the science and cancer-related research going on in all the different laboratories on campus. And we as a student organization committee wanted to give awards to all talks and poster presentations, but due to lack of funds and resources, we can't have that. So we selected 2 oral presentations and 8 posters. So I'll give awards to, first I'll address the oral presentation awards. Okay, so we have 2 outstanding presentation awards. The first is going to go to Michael J. Walsh for his presentation on chemical imaging for histopathology. Oh, yeah. By the way, these awards are $100 in cash prizes. Nice little surprise. Next, the second presentation award is to David Agin for his presentation on T-cell receptors for potential cancer immunotherapy applications. Okay, so the first outstanding poster presentation award is to Adil Ahmad for targeted multimodal microspheres as contrast agents for cancer imaging. Adil? Okay. Okay, so the next is to Carolina Soto for adoptive cell transfer using T-cell receptor gene therapy. It results in an effective immunotherapy against marine glioma and melanoma. Carolina? Next is to Rachel Botham for her presentation on potent anti-cancer activity via dual small molecule mediated zymogen activation. Next is to Vesna Tozik for a presentation titled Oncolytic Myxoma Virus Delivery of Immunotherapy Genes to Brain Tumors. Next is to Jared Kind on his presentation titled Quantitation of RNA Cancer Biomarkers using a Refractive Index-Based Detection Platform. Jared? All right, the next is to Frederick South for for his presentation titled Intraoperative Evaluation of Tumor Margins in Lymph Nodes in Breast Cancer Surgery with Three-Dimensional Optical Coherence Tomography. Fred? Next poster award is to Caroline Shevkovic for her presentation on angiogenic models for blood vessels patterning and therapeutic cancer applications. And the last is to Ki-Dong Park for his presentation titled MEMS-based resonance sensor for characterizing biophysical properties of cells. Ki-Dong?
She's representing.
Sure. Well, if we could, that's all the poster talks, oral and poster talks. If we could congratulate them. And next, all right. Next, I'd like to have Dr. Rohit Bhargava, the faculty advisor for the cancer community at Illinois.
Thank you so much. Thank you, first of all, for all of you in spending your time with us over 2 days. It was quite the program. I know you have lots of things to do, and it's the middle of the semester and so on. But this was a fantastic, fantastic program, and I'm glad that we could participate in it the best we could. So thank you for coming and being such a nice audience. I want to acknowledge quite a few people here. But first and foremost, I want to acknowledge our external speakers. So they went to AACR, spent a lot of energy there, and then they were able to come down here. So I really thank them for making the trip and for coming here and giving us such a fantastic program. We've learned a lot, and we hope to see you again. But thank you for this one. I also want to acknowledge our panel discussion participants and those who came us and gave a very important perspective that we often lack. We're so busy in our labs with our heads down at our benches, we often forget what we're working for, or who we're working for. And this was a tremendous experience and a learning opportunity for many of us. So thank you to them. Without the students and, of course, their participation as poster presenters and as speakers, none of this would happen. And you just heard 76 posters, and many of them obviously very, very excellent, especially the undergraduates. Sometimes you went around the posters and you said, which your graduate student are you? And it turned out it was an undergraduate student from some labs. So I'm very happy to see even undergraduates contributing in this way. Certainly nothing happens without money, to some extent, as those of us who apply to NIH know well enough. And so our sponsors were very generous on campus. Whenever we went and asked for money, most people said yes and contributed some amount. The sponsors have been acknowledged. I don't want to read them out and sort of waste a little bit more time, but they're listed, and we'd like to thank them as well. The most important part of this symposium is that this had no politicians in it. We did not invite the president of the university and the deans and so on and so forth to come and give us a lecture on how important this is. This is actually a community event, and this was organized by students. This had very little faculty involvement in the way this came about. And if you'll indulge me, I'll give you 2 minutes of background as to how all this came about. About a year ago, we had a meeting upstairs, which involved about 75 people from various parts of campus, mostly faculty. We came together and we deliberated for almost a day as to what we can do on campus to get the cancer community going and perhaps have a larger effort than our individual programs combined. And there were a few students in there. 2 of those students then went out and wrote a proposal to the graduate college asking for some funds to bring them together as a community, hold regular seminars and meet every once in a while. And I'd like to recognize those 2 students. They're Eric Lidstone and Sarah Holton. Eric and Sarah, I saw somewhere. Sarah, could you stand up? And I think everyone knows you, but at least we'll give you an extra round of applause. So these two students, I think Sarah was under some pressure. She works in my research group. But Eric, more credit to you. So both these two students, they came to us, me and Professor Benita Castellan-Bovin, and said, would you make sure that we don't do anything illegal? We're trying to do this, we're trying to put this effort together. They wrote the proposal, we added a little bit, and then it got funded. They started doing some activities over time, and then they came up, other students joined them, and more students started participating in those activities. And soon they built up a leadership team that was completely organic and sort of came up on its own. And from that, they came up with the idea of this seminar and to combine it with the AACR and so on. And so this whole thing was organized entirely by students. And it's mostly the people in the bright sort of blue shirts. There's a special name for this color that I'm not aware of. It's kind of blue, but the bright blue color shirts. And these are the organizers. These are the people who did all the work. So if you take a second and thank them. So what I'm hoping this will become would be an annual event on campus, organized by the students, primarily for the students to learn. And what we'll do is hopefully turn faculty and staff, all of us, into students again. And we'll be able to participate in this way very closely with investigators who come from outside and with each other, more as students, more in sort of a learning spirit, rather than have great pomp and circumstance with this thing. So I hope this will continue. If you like this event, certainly email the students back and tell them what they did right. If you don't like anything, email me and I will deal with you appropriately. But please do encourage them a little bit, and I hope we'll see you back here again next year. Thank you so much.
Just as everyone's leaving, I would just like to extend special thanks to Jay Song up here on the left, putting away his laptop. He has been absolutely fantastic, and I think everyone in the teal t-shirt knows exactly how much he is, or actually, maybe none of us know exactly how much he's contributed. He's been phenomenal, staying up, I don't know, what are you on, 108 hours or something without sleep? So he's done a great job. And thanks to all the participants for coming to all of our events, for participating in the poster sessions, for discussing your research with us, for sharing your ideas. And we're really thankful to have you all here, and we look forward to next year. Thanks a lot. And have a great weekend.